Alright, so we are working on the 98 Corvette today. We're going to take care of this streaking stuff that's going on. Don't even know what caused that. Hopefully you can see the hood is all faded out. I'll have a picture that I'll show you guys before I get started so you can really see and really appreciate how bad this hood is. So, in my last video, I mentioned that I got this new compressor. This is a 33 gallon, and yeah, I'm going to use this to paint. So over here I have this table full of stuff. So most of this stuff is so I can paint, so I can set it up and get going. So we got the purple Harbor Freight spray gun, the super cheap one that everyone seems to agree is pretty decent if you know how to use it. We got a blowgun, got some hoses, some filters, fittings. I got my respirator, some goggles, because you got to protect your eyes when you're spraying. Got some more plastic drop cloths. Ordered a bunch of sandpaper, and then we still have all my leftover sandpaper from when I did the 79. Also got a little paintbrush and tack rugs. These are for like cleaning the paint gun. At least I'm going to attempt to use that. And then I also got this. If you ever heard of using glass cleaner instead of wax and grease remover, I've been reading people swear by this stuff, so I figured I'd try it. Normally they use the foam version, but this was $1 more and you got more than half more fluid ounces, so I figured I'd give it a go. If it doesn't work and I get fisheye or whatever, then oh well, I'll sand it down, I'll respray it. I'm learning. I'm gonna take chances now. Might as well. So yeah, let's get started. But before we do that, before we start sanding, let's set up my air compressor because I'm pretty excited to see all this stuff work. So real quick run through of the compressor stuff that I bought. Here's 50 foot of hose and then 25 feet. And I did get the 3/8 outer diameter with the 1/4 inch thread because all my stuff has 1/4 inch. The spray gun's 1/4 inch, and it just kind of makes sense. I was reading, you definitely do not want 1/4 inch hose, 1/4 inch outer diameter hose if you're painting. Ideally, it'd be better to upgrade all your fittings to 3/8, but 1/4 inch fittings with 3/8 outer diameter hose should be more than enough for me to at least do what I'm planning to do with my painting stuff. So I got this. This is the male connector that goes into the compressor, so I can have that quick connect or quick disconnect. These are the Milton. These are the V style, and then high flow. I don't know. Through research, Milton's seem to be a pretty decent brand, and I definitely want the high flow. V style seems to be the best for flowing. And got a air filter and a regulator. So yep. And then here's a desiccant dryer. This is all Harbor Freight stuff, as you can tell, except for this stuff. I actually spent some money on the fittings, but this stuff, if it works, great. If I need to upgrade, great, I'll do it. Still learning. Still got a lot to learn about compressors, but I'm learning as I go. So I'm going to replace this fitting. This fitting is actually leaking whenever you disconnect something, but when it's connected it's not leaking. So either way, gotta replace it. Gonna do this and upgrade it to the high flow style. Gotta make sure there's no pressure in it. There shouldn't be, so I'm gonna pull the safety pin over here. And no pressure, so we're good. We're good to take that out and then swap it out. There's the old one. Let's put the new one in, and let's put some Teflon tape on it to help seal it up. Alright, new fittings in. Feels real nice. This is brass, so brass is real easy to strip since it's a soft metal, but it'll work. Alright, here we are. Here's my setup. Mostly complete. Still need to get couple fittings and miscellaneous stuff. So we got 50 foot of hose coming out of the compressor, coiled up in this bucket, I'll get another light so you can see it. Coiled up in this bucket, coming out to this filter and regulator, then straight into the desiccant dryer, and 25 feet of hose out to this quick connect, and then I can attach my blowgun to it. Can I do it one-handed? There we go. So it's really not that bad. Pretty interesting. This was the most I've ever used Teflon tape. I had that Teflon tape forever, and I just don't use that much. So yeah, this is my setup. When I'm painting, I plan to fill this bucket up with ice water, and that's going to be the way I cool the hose down. And then straight out of that, the air should be cold. It gets filtered for any dust particles, and then if there's still any moisture left, it will get it right there, and then it has 20 feet of hose to cool off and to make its way to my gun. Not too long that it can heat up, but should be just the perfect amount. So here's my problem. So with the purple Harbor Freight gun, this is 1/4 inch thread, but it's a finer thread, and this 1/4 inch is a coarser thread. I don't know what the specific name is for it, but so right here, all I need is a female adapter, and that will work. So I can do a little female adapter into my adapter. So it could just be a little small one, and then that way I can keep the little dust filter that's in here. Or I take that out and I buy an adapter to make this work into here, bypass that little dust filter, give me a little more CFM. But I'm gonna go to the hardware store in the morning, and whatever I can find, I'll find. Ideally, I would just get the little adapter to let me screw it on like that, or I don't know, whether there's something out there that I can use it like this, or maybe I'm gonna have to order another female adapter. Got 2 of these left, so I guess that just means I need to get more tools, like a palm sander or something. Just shut off. Let's see, what is that? About 160-ish PSI. This is rated for 165, so that's probably right about there. And then, so that's tank tools about 150. So I mean, that's healthy. So now I gotta figure out how to do all this. My airline apparently did not like that, and now it's all jumbled up. So this rubber stuff does not like to be conformed into your own way. It likes to stay wrapped up the way it was, so I gotta figure that out. Doesn't sound like any leaks though, so I think we're good. I'm gonna test out the blowgun, but I think we're good. The blowgun set up, so the regulator came with 0 PSI, so set at 0, so I just bumped it up to about 40. I don't know what's good for a blowgun or not, but that seems about right. We have good air, we're not leaking. The only thing I'm noticing is this kinda wants to leak if you like just tilt it at the right angle. But I mean, that kind of leak, I don't really know if that's a problem. I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. Something I've never knew is, listen when I press the trigger. I'm going to put you close to the compressor, and you can hear air coming out of the compressor. So if you never had a compressor before, you'll get to experience this, unlike me having to do it firsthand. Here we go. Hopefully you can hear that, but yeah, it's pretty interesting how you can hear the compressor going. So this compressor took about 10-11 minutes to fully go up. So yeah, but alright, now we're gonna get to sanding the hood. Now you can kind of see a much better view. It's really cloudy and it's just bad. It looks like there's a footprint right here. I don't even know what that is. Little baby foot. We got some weird cracking going on. It's almost like spider cracking that happens in fiberglass, but this is technically SMC fiberglass, so it's more plasticky than actual fiberglass. Alright, we'll get to sanding maybe in the morning? I don't know. Alright, it's the new day. And last night I got this hood sanded down, so the clear coat is either sanded through or scuffed up pretty good to the point where it's ready to start smoothing out. I'm gonna go over it by hand again, just to make sure I got all of the bad clear coat, to make sure it doesn't come back and haunt me in the future, essentially. And then I started working on the rear, so I took the emblem out and then I started sanding here just to make sure I could get all the scratches, and we're good. So this section's really flat, other than a little bit of dipping here and there. This should be pretty simple to sand. So the sander I'm using, it's a 5-inch palm sander. This is the Bauer Harbor Freight one. I got 120 grit, so I'm using the 120 grit to knock out the clear coat, and then from there I'll work my way up. So I'm going to put you on a time lapse and let's get this sanded down. Sanded the edges with 120 by hand. So now everything is smooth. Now I'm going to go up and do 240 grit. Alright, hood has been sanded completely done. The trunk is done. So the steps I used, so I started with my 150 grit on the sander, and then I stepped up to 240, then 240 to 320, and that's where I'm leaving it. And then I hit the edges with 400 and 600 depending on how visible that area is. And yeah, so now it's completely smoothed out. There's little tiny imperfections, like there's a tiny little crack here. I don't know if you can see it, or more of a scratch, not a crack. I'm not gonna worry about it. This front bumper needs work. Like, this isn't to make it perfect, this is to make it presentable so I can sell this car. So I'm trying to spend the least amount of time while still doing a proper job. So here we are. It's all sanded down. I'll show you the trunk. This trunk's super flat, so it's super easy to sand other than the curve on this side and that side. So yeah. So this is ready to get the dust out of the garage, wash this panel down, and then start spraying.